Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Corner HVAC. I'm glad you joined me today. I got a couple things I want to go over. But first, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers out there, the people that hit the thumbs up and comment. And I love that part about being able to talk back and forth with everybody. I've talked to people from all over the place in some of these comments about their situations at their house, or contractors have came out, or just general questions. I think that's awesome because that's part of Andy's Corner HVAC. You know, I wanted to be able to do the heating and air stuff and want to be able to give advice on some of these things. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching and all that kind of thing. I do want to share with you, we have started a new venture. We are on Andy's Corner HVAC is now a podcast as well. So make sure you go out there, download the podcast, listen to all the episodes. It's just getting started out, but you'll be able to find it on all the usual places, you know, iTunes, Amazon, Google Podcasts. There's all kinds of them. We're trying to get on Castbox and a couple different other ones, Pandora. But it takes a little bit to be able to get on some of those ones like that. But your basic ones that everybody's using, be it Spotify, we're on Spotify already. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Public Radio, I think it is. There's several different apps where you can find it. Let me know what you think. If you like it, make sure you do the downloads and all that kind of stuff. That way we get to see it all. So join us there. We've got a couple episodes out and a couple more already done and ready to go out in a timely fashion. But either way, today, what I wanted to talk about was the Fieldpiece, charging and using the Fieldpiece digital probe set for your Freon. You know, I had kind of boycotted them personally for a very long time. As far as charging air conditioners, checking air conditioners, all that kind of stuff. You know, I said it needed to be done with analog gauges. You know, that's how I learned to do it. That's what I was comfortable with, and that's what I said everybody should be learning on. And I still do think that everybody needs to be able to. We have to be able to do the math ourselves. We have to be able to, you know what all those numbers actually mean. So I don't see anything wrong with analogs, and I still use analogs a lot. But I have started using probes. I do like the probes. As much as I bad-mouthed them when people started talking about, you know, several years ago when a lot of digital gauges started coming out, the digital manifolds, and then the probe sets and all that kind of thing. You know, maybe I was too old-fashioned or too stuck in my ways, whatever you want to call it. You know, I didn't want to mess with it. But now that I have used them, and everybody, for the most part, in the company I work for has them and is using them now, they are on point. If you like perfection, if you like to the 10th of a degree kind of numbers, that's where it's at. And definitely for doing like maintenance and checkups and tune-ups and PMs and all this kind of thing that everybody's doing out there, they're awesome. Because they do come with this cool little case and all that kind of thing. I don't actually use the case. I've got a pouch in my bag that I actually keep all the probes in. That's what I do, but you can do whatever you like. Otherwise, that pouch actually has a couple clips on the side. You can hook that to your normal tool bag or whatever you carry, and be able to use it that way. Either way, the kit that I have, that I use, comes with the 2 pressure probes. If you can see those there. I know that's going to read upside or backwards, I guess, but we've got 2 probes, one for high side, one for low side. We've got our regular clamps, temperature clamps. Fieldpiece actually makes awesome clamps. They make a couple different styles. You know, these are for the wireless digital probe sets and everything, but they do make some basic ones that are corded with the K-type plug-in on the side of it. I've actually used that for a long time with my regular analog gauges, and you can plug that into a normal multimeter. A lot of the amp probes can do it and that kind of thing. They've been very reliable for me, but there's a lot of different types. But I do like these new ones that are on here. All the lights are shining kind of funny, but I do like these because it does have what they are calling the rapid rail technology. So with hear that beep, it's because it can't sense itself. Basically, it has to be able to sense continuity through those sensors there. So if you clamp it on a pipe and it's not making a good connection, it can't read through that pipe or something like that, it'll beep at you and your app will actually show it. So that's pretty cool. You know you're making a good connection. It gives you a little piece of like a type of sandpaper to be able to sand that copper up a little bit. You know, we've all got emery cloth of some sorts with us, so you can scrape that up if you're not making a good connection on like a really old system with some old copper or something like that. It comes with 2 of those, and then it also comes with 2 of the air probes that you can check temperature and all that kind of stuff. One good thing about all of these, you know, on the bottom you can see where it did, like this one's blue, that's my suction probe. You can actually change that. You flip the switch on the bottom there. There we go, and it turns red, and now that would be my high pressure pressure port. So I've got those, both thermometers are that way, both of the clamp thermometers are that way, so you know what you're dealing with. But either way, they're real simple to use. You just turn them on, and Bluetooth will pick them up. You can use a cell phone, any kind of smartphone will do it. I do use my iPad for it, and I love it. Because with the iPad, actually, you can see all those numbers you want to see all at the same time. With the cell phone, a lot of times you can only see like a portion, then you got to scroll down a little bit. It's not a big deal. You can still see it. It all looks the same. It all does the same thing. But with the iPad, it's big enough that you can see it all at once. You can use the Fieldpiece Measurements app. That's what I use. You can also use the MeasureQuick app. A lot of guys say that they prefer the MeasureQuick. I've used it once or twice. I haven't really played with it a lot, but a lot of people say that they like that one more. But I use the Fieldpiece app, and it does great. So, you know, whenever we can take a look, see what this looks like here. Show you what the app looks like. Whenever you open it up, ooh, am I gonna get that to zoom in? There we go. Whenever that app opens up, it looks like that. You can do several different things with it, but your basics, you're gonna hit the measurements button, and it'll pop up all your stuff. I've already got my probes turned on, so they are already reading and showing on here. Obviously, it's not on a system, so it's gonna read a little funny, and they do, because I keep sitting here and opening and closing them, they do say link tool and all that kind of stuff, so it will pop up on there if you see that. Don't worry about it. It doesn't do it when you're normally on there. So if I can creepily peek around the side here so I can see what I'm doing. But it shows you, like, those are your refrigerant numbers. You got high side, low side. It figures your superheat and subcooling for you, as well as gives you all your temperatures. Like I said, I'm not hooked onto a unit right now, so all the numbers do look funny. I know that. But up here, then you've got your air side where you've got your supply, return, humidity. We've got your wet bulb and everything like that. So you can see all your numbers at the same time, because you got to have that wet bulb temperature. You have to know what your humidity is and everything along those lines, and it figures your delta T for you. So, you know, it takes a lot of the math where, you know, all of us guys are out there like counting on our fingers, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's about 21. You know, it takes that out. So I like technology, but at the same time, I don't want technology to take over where I can't do it myself. So that's why I say, you know, I think somebody starting out or learning or something like that really should start with analogs and use a clamp-on thermometer like the Fieldpiece. I've used that one for a long time. That one works very well. I use it with my meter. Or I do have the Hillmore, the dual temperature probe clamp-on thermometers. Those work really well with a set of analog gauges too. Hillmore does make a nice set of gauges. I don't have them. I don't use them. I've always been very partial to Yellow Jacket. When it comes to analog gauges, that's what I've always used. That's what I like, and that's what I recommend. But that's just me. Everybody's got their preferences. I know people that will only use JB or will only use Hillmore or whatever. Use whatever you want. That's up to you on analogs. You know, that's not what this video is about. You know, we're talking about the Fieldpiece stuff because that is what we are trying to represent here. They do an awesome job. And, you know, me telling you all this, I want to stick in there that I'm not paid by Fieldpiece to tell you to buy all this stuff or to go out and use it, or tell the contractor that you work for that you need these. I'm not, at this particular point in time in making the video, I am not sponsored by Fieldpiece. Now, if Fieldpiece does want to sponsor me, I would be more than happy because actually I've been a tried and true Fieldpiece, unpaid Fieldpiece spokesperson for a long time. They make a lot of good equipment and tools for our industry, and they do really well. They last. They're very affordable in comparison to some of them out there, and they do stand the test of time and all that kind of stuff. But either way, you know, I this isn't sponsored to be able to tell you to go buy a Fieldpiece, but you know, these work great. And me being a set and stuck in my old timer kind of ways, you know, I've used analogs for like 20 some years, and I've always said, oh, I don't need digital. Digital is actually a good way to go. And I'm a little curious, you know, here in a couple of years, we're going to be switching over to a different Freon. And I think that's going to blow our industry in a lot of different directions. I'm not a big fan in this new like phase out and all that kind of stuff, but I'm still a believer. I think R22 did just fine. So I don't know what people's problem is. You know, they said R22 was, you know, dangerous for the environment. It wasn't any good, et cetera, et cetera. You know, 410A is what we need to be using in residential. And now they say that that's not good. You know, it's, I don't know. You get the government involved, and that's what happens, in my opinion. So that's my Freon rant. That has nothing to do with these gauges, but these really do work. It figures that up for you. You know, it's like, you know, everybody talks about snapshots on stuff. I mean, that's what this is. It's like you put out all that on there, and if it's raining or nasty out or something, you can go sit in the truck and say you've got a snapshot or a live. I guess it's a live version of what's going on with that unit. You know, all you got to do is clamp those on there, nice and easy. Put those on there where your gauges would normally go. Turn everything on, let it link, and then walk away. And so, you know, you have to go inside and adjust an expansion valve. I carry my iPad with me, and I'm watching the pressures. I'm watching my superheat, my subcooling, my temp drop, all that kind of thing. I'm watching it on there, and I adjust my TXV. Just a little more, and boom, it's perfect. You know, it's all right there. Instead of me going in and, you know, I turn it a quarter of a turn, and then I go 317 and a half steps back outside, check it. It's like, oh, need a little more. Go all the way 317 and a half steps back in, do it again, come back and forth, and all this kind of crap. You know, I need as much exercise as I can get. I mean, that's obvious, but I don't have to with these. So, you know, I am a big supporter. There's so many different versions of people out there saying that they don't like digital or they do like digital, whatever. I'm here to tell you that, you know, I was set in my ways and I did not want them. They're on point. They really do it all. It's down to 1/10 of a degree. These things are supposed to be no more than a degree off or PSI off. All your temperature probes, you can actually recalibrate them. There is, in the instructions, it tells you how to recalibrate them and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go through that. But you can recalibrate them if they were to ever be off. I haven't had any that were off, and I have checked them to my analogs. I have checked them to my other temperature probes because, you know, I was skeptical in the beginning. So, you know, I was putting T's on there and putting my analogs and the digital probes on there to see which one was right and all that kind of stuff. They are spot on. I mean, I cannot really argue with the numbers whatsoever. And I was definitely a skeptic in the beginning. So they are a good investment. They do well with you know, what they're capable of doing, and accuracy is there. And then also with the JobLink, the Fieldpiece JobLink software, you can get manometers for checking static pressure or checking gas pressure and all that kind of thing, and use it all on the same app. So they make a lot of different JobLink tools to go along with it, and you know, it does what it's supposed to. So I would love to hear what everybody has to say. Pros or cons with the JobLink stuff, the Fieldpiece probe set, the charging set. If you're interested on how to actually charge an air conditioner with your probes, because obviously without you know, we don't have a manifold here. That's just a probe. If you want to know how to charge with them, I do have another video out there. There are several of them online or on YouTube on how to charge with them. And there were several that I didn't care for because I think there was still potential for having air in there. There's a couple of really good ones. I didn't have the same kind of T as what they did and all that kind of thing. So I was concerned with that. I have a real basic T that I can use, and it does awesome. And it's real simple. So there's another video on the channel if you want to check that out and see how that's done. Other than that, like I said, let me know what you think. It's one of those things that I was hardcore against, but I am all for these days. So, hit me up in the comments. As always, hit the thumbs up, give it a big like, hit the little bell icon. I think it'll be up in here. I don't know. It's up here somewhere. Hit the bell icon. Let me know that you like it. You also get notifications every time a new video comes out that way. And share with your friends. It's just the right thing to do. Share these videos with your friends. That way people can see them. And check out the podcast. Like I said, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and hopefully we're going to be on some other ones here pretty soon. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you download and listen to all those. And then, let me know. You can contact me. Let me know what you think about the podcast, what you think about this. I mean, maybe I'm an idiot. If you want to tell me that, go for it. Somebody told me a long time ago, and I've done a couple videos about this, but they said, when you have haters, then you have succeeded as a YouTuber. And I know from experience that I have some haters. So if you want to see some videos about how I handle the haters, go to the channel and check that out too. Because there's a couple of videos about Andy loving on haters on the channel. So that was actually a lot of fun. So check that one out too. Either way, let me know what you think. Have a great day.